What's going on, beautiful people? On today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of the most challenging things that vegans have to go through in their everyday life. Did you guess it? Did you figure it out? When non-vegans invite you out to dinner, to a birthday party, to a holiday celebration, how hard is it for us to sit there with non-vegans as they eat non-vegan food? To me, it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with. I remember when I first went vegan about 4 years ago and I was invited out to a friend's birthday. I was just so happy to know that the restaurant had some vegan options, that they could accommodate my eating style. And I remember friends around me, they were ordering the chicken breast or the steak or the baby back ribs. And I was just sitting there like, okay, I'll be ordering my vegetables and rice and my salad. I'm happy. I can eat there. I'm not a complete outcast. You know, everyone was making fun of me, obviously. The typical, oh, look at Donnie, he's gonna eat some grass. We've all been there before, right? Now, of course, on my journey, things have changed for me. At first, veganism was a personal journey. It was just about myself. You know, I didn't want to contribute to the suffering of animals, but it was really for myself, for my health, and it was my lifestyle change. But as I learned more about what happens to animals in the animal agriculture industry, I realized that not only do I not want to support this personally, but I want to become an activist and I want to speak up anytime I see some exploitation and abuse that's happening towards animals. So now, what are some of the tips and tricks that you can use to avoid being in these situations? So the other day, somebody called me out and said, hey, you know, we're going out to dinner. It's this so-and-so's birthday. You know, we're going to be 4 people. We're all going to be social distancing, but why don't you come out, you know? So I had to make up an excuse. I let him know that my father died, you know. But it didn't work so well because it was my mother who was calling me out for dinner. Didn't work. That plan didn't work, so not a good tip there. But what you can always do is, of course, make up an excuse and just say you're tired or you have other plans, because you don't want to be all uncomfortable at the table with people while they're eating, you know, the victims of animal exploitation. Totally understandable, right? Now, the thing is this. If you don't show up, though, you're losing that opportunity to speak up for the victims, to raise awareness about these industries and how these animals are treated in these industries. And that gives you the opportunity to really do some great activism. You know, so go out there if you can handle it, go out there and speak up for the victims. But at the same time, if you let them know that you don't want to show up because you don't sit down with non-vegans who are eating non-vegan food, people are going to be asking themselves, well, how come Donnie's not here? And they're gonna say, well, you know, Donnie doesn't want to sit with us while we eat animals and this type of stuff. You know how vegans are. And it's gonna make people think and reflect upon their decisions and upon their choices. So there's the plus side and the negative side to both ways of dealing with the situation. Now, what are some other tricks that you could come up with to avoid this? You know, you could go purposely get yourself hit by a car. You know, because then you don't have to show up to the birthday celebration. You could go and you could throw your phone away so people could not reach you. And then when they're mad at you for not showing up, you say, oh, you lost your phone, you know, it's in the river somewhere. But no, in all reality, I think it's best to actually go there and, you know, speak to people and show them also. One of the great things that you can do is if you go to a restaurant that has some good vegan options, you can show them the delicious food that you're eating. Show them that there are other options. People will be so happy to see that, hey, oh my God, that burger looks really good or that pasta looks really good. Of course, we can recreate everyone's favorite food, just the vegan version of it. Now, what is another situation where this might come up? Look at a first date, for example. So if someone that you're dating for the first time, they're probably not vegan, obviously, so they're gonna say, hey, I wanna go to this restaurant, I wanna go to that restaurant. Now, if you say, I'm only going to a vegan restaurant, that might scare them off, that might freak them out, and then they don't even wanna date you, they don't wanna see you, they don't even wanna meet you. But if you do choose a place that has some good vegan options, like you research it, and then you go with them and you choose the vegan option, you can also, you know, kind of convince them to choose it as well. If they don't, you can show them the delicious food that you're eating, and that's gonna get the wheels turning. That's gonna get people's minds thinking that there are more options. So again, what I wanna know, are you the type to run from a situation when you get faced with it? Or do you wanna deal with it head on? Do you wanna show up there, stand your ground, and speak up for the animals. I guess every situation is different. You react to every situation differently. Pick your battles. You know, if you're gonna go to your family dinner where everyone makes fun of you every single time, just show up after the food's been served and just go there and, you know, have fun with your family after they're done eating. But if you can handle it, if you can go out there and you can speak up for the victims and help raise awareness, it's great activism. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more. Peace.